All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Course Creator Community Podcast. I'm your host, Jono, and I am super excited because we've got an absolute rock star on the line this week. She's super nervous. She doesn't think she's a rock star, but listen to this. She's got over 1,600 members in her membership programs. I think she's got a few of them, but in her main one, over 1,100 members. And she's done that in less than 6 months. So anyone that's done that, in my mind, is a rock star. I'm sure anyone listening is like, 1,100 in 6 months. How did you do that? I want to do the same. And most important, well, actually, she's done really well successfully online, but there's two really important things about her that's probably more important than that. One, she's a really good person. And then even more important than that, she's Australian like me as well. So she's got the trifecta: Australian, good person, and successful. So without further ado, let me introduce the one and only Jessa Bellman. Jessa, how are you?
I'm so good. I love that you are Australian as well. Like I couldn't believe that you are from Australia when I met you. You've had massive success yourself. So
Thank you. Well, I always, I shouldn't say I prefer. I love having Australians on the show. So I love having you. Quick intro. Whereabouts in Australia are you, Jessa?
I'm at the bottom. I'm on the surf coast in Geelong. So we're right near the beach in Victoria.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Me too, but I'm further up north. I'm right on the beach on Sydney. All right, let's get into it, Jessa. I'm going to shut my mouth and I just want to hear this story. Start wherever you want to start. How the crap did you get 1,600 members in less than 6 months?
Well, if you go way back, I started online around 8 years ago, and my husband and I we started like in a design agency, so we were selling services. From there, we started selling on Etsy, so we sold a lot of digital products, and that really opened my eyes to, I guess, digital products are scalable. So we were able to, for the first time ever, take on a lot more work than we ever could. From there, I got into course creation.
Well, slow there. Let's slow this down. There's some good stories in there, Jessa. Tell us about Etsy. So hold on, you were online, you had like a service kind of agency. Yeah, then we're like, all right, let me get on Etsy. Let us know on Etsy. You sold stuff on there. Were you successful? Did you make some money? Did you get some time? Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. So yeah, I started it while I was being a graphic designer and running my service-based agency. And I started selling Etsy banners on there. And the first week that I made, I think $70 from selling Etsy banners, I was like, wow, like I can't believe I made them weeks ago. And then I was able to sell them again and again and again. So I ended up just building store after store, because when you make obviously templates and digital products, you only have to make them once. So I was making a store and then I'd make another store. And because they were self-sustaining, I was able to do that. And I have 18 stores now. So I've got 18 stores of digital products selling on Etsy, and I've made over 125,000 sales on the platform.
Wow. And you might not believe this, but I've never used Etsy. I've never even logged in, right? I thought it was like an arts and craft thing. So let me just get my head around this. You sell digital products on Etsy.
I do. So I sell all sorts of different things, anything from sort of like social media templates for business owners, all the way through to printable invitations for brides and couples getting married.
Gotcha. And so I can get my head around this. Etsy is the marketplace. It's kind of like the template version of Udemy, right? If people want a template, they'll go on there. There's different stores, different stuff, whatever. Am I right in saying you probably don't spend a lot of time marketing your Etsy store? People just go on there and buy, or how does that kind of work?
Udemy is like the perfect, like, I guess that's the course version of what I would say Etsy is. So
Gotcha.
Etsy is a traffic driving site. So it brings all the traffic to your digital products. I don't spend even 1% of time marketing outside of Etsy. It just brings all the traffic, which is amazing.
You know what? I think you might have sold me on your membership, you know? I'm like, this sounds like a good deal. So, okay, and with that, so 125,000 in what kind of period? Is this in a year? Is it 5 years? Is it 6 months? Like how long did it take you to make that, I guess?
Yeah, so I made it over the course of, I think I made my first store when my second son was born. So I had like this little newborn. He's 7 now, so it's
Okay,
over 7 years.
gotcha. And I'm guessing you still run that store now because I'm guessing it's just there passively, right?
Yeah, so I've got all of them. I gave two to my brother, so he's taken
Nice.
over two of them, but all of the other ones they're all still running. They've got original products from back in the day when I made them. And I've actually just started a new store on YouTube. I'm tracking the progress. So that's exciting as well.
Love it. And can I ask revenue there? How much do you currently make maybe per month just on the Etsy passive side of things? Not the courses and the membership, just Etsy.
Yeah, so it's normally between sort of 16,000 and 24,000. That's
Passive?
something, yeah, passive income. Yeah.
Woo. All right. So I mean, we're going to speak about your membership. So, actually, no, we'll probably get into that. But for those of you listening and you're like, man, this is crazy. You know, how can I get on this stuff? Well, Jessa actually runs a membership that covers that. We're going to speak about this today, and I'll put the links down below. But sorry, continue that story there. So you're doing successful on Etsy, and then what a point came and you're like, right, I want to start teaching others how to do it, or what was the next step there?
So what happened was basically the pandemic hit us and everything just went boom. And like I had all my friends that were out of work, they were worried about things financially. And I'm like, you should start an Etsy store. You should start an Etsy store. Like you can do it in your spare time, you can do it on the side, and they're really easy to sort of build up, and you can pivot really, really easily as well. So I realized that whenever I was going out for like coffee with my friends or I saw my family, I'm like, you need to do this. It's amazing. So I decided that I'm really passionate about telling people about this. So that's when I sort of planned out, right, I want to be like a digital product coach. And launched my very first course, which was Etsy Superstar. So it taught people sort of A to Z how to set up a digital product store.
Awesome. Tell us a little bit about that. So that was your first course. How'd the launch go? Did you make some sales? What was it priced at? Let us know a little bit about those numbers.
It was amazing. So it was my very first product as a coach. I launched it in November last year, and I kicked it off with like a very interactive challenge. So I had over 5 people join in the challenge, and it was we had like a community cheerleader award, which was a lot of fun, and it was just really like there was a lot of interactivity, and I got to really know my audience. So
Mm.
I think I made 28 sales from
Woo!
that launch at $297.
Love it. Let's even spend a minute there before we move on to the membership. Like, that's pretty good. And I think I spoke to you straight after that. I think we jumped on a call after that, and I was like, "That's your first one, 28 sales at at that number there." So, yeah, let us know a little bit about that. Actually, what do you think was this? What do you think the secret was there? Like, how many people did you say did your challenge?
So I have 500 people sign up. So
Okay.
I think I spent a solid month just like networking, and I had my lead magnets up, which were in the group as well. So I was building that, building that, building that. And then right before I actually started the challenge, I had everyone kind of sitting in the weight room, and then I let them all in at once. So there was just like this flood of 500 people joining the group. Everyone was introducing themselves, and it just was really high vibes. So I think that was why it was such a success.
Okay, let's spend a minute there because I'm sure there's a lot of listeners that are like, because I mean that's awesome. 28 sales at 297. It's obviously a really good product there. What I find just as impressive is 500 people in the challenge. I'm sure there's people listening that are like, man, I wish I could get 500 in there. I know you said you did some networking, but can you let us know a little bit more detail? How the crap did you get 500 people registered for this challenge?
Yeah, it was a lot of work because I was really like connecting with people and making sure that I was like sort of personally messaging a lot of people who would showed an interest in my lead magnet, sending it through, being like, I'm running this challenge. If you want to join it, it's free. I would love to see you in there if you're interested in making digital products. I also I bought the Women Helping Women Entrepreneurs monthly membership where you're allowed to promote for a month. So I got 4 posts in there, and that's where I'd say most of my leads sort of come from. So that one's $97 a month.
Love that. Well, I think there's two important things there for the people listening. I think there's like, there's a everyone dreams of passive income, right? And it exists. Look what you do on Etsy, right? And I think that's maybe a little bit different though. I think in the online world kind of things, I think passive income definitely exists as well, but it's usually after some hard work at the start. And I think if there's people listening, and actually this might contradict with what you did later on, but I think organically anyway, I think like it's not quite as easy as, all right, I'm just going to get a YouTube channel or get a podcast and, put something out there every week and put my lead magnet in there, and people are going to go through this funnel, and then I'm going to have all this money and all this leads. Like, yeah, once you know what you're doing, that can be done. But to start off, it's often just a lot of hard work. Hey, I got to get out there. I got to network. I got to meet people. And then on top of that, I think it's great to invest a bit of money as well. I know you do a lot of Facebook ads now, and we'll speak about that later. But if people aren't ready for Facebook ads yet, because it's a little bit more complicated, it can be a bit more like, all right, cool. Here's this group that's got all my ideal people. Hey, if I pay that person $97 and I can get, I don't know, say you get 100 leads from that, for example, like $1 a lead, that's pretty good. If I had to pick, all right, spend 10 hours posting and networking on social media, or just pay someone $100 and get the leads, I'll take the money there. So I think that's great, and I think it's also good because I think it's one that a lot of people don't think about. I think people either think, right, it's organic or it's Facebook ads, but hey, that's a good option there if someone already has your list. And I'll go off tangent a bit here, but I'll just compare that to my fitness education online business. The best leads that I get is from Fitness Australia. They're like an organized, similar to, well, same sort of lines of what, the Facebook group that you're in. But with Fitness Australia, it's like an organization here in Australia that personal trainers register with, right? There's 30,000 pretty much every personal trainer in Australia is registered with Fitness Australia, right? And they've got a newsletter that they send out every month, right? And take a guess how much it costs to get featured in that newsletter, Jessa.
No idea. Lots.
$500.
Pretty reasonable though, yeah.
100%. $500 to get in front of 30,000 via email. Email's better than Facebook. Facebook, maybe they see it, maybe they don't. Like 30,000 emails, $500, and also every single person in there is my ideal person. Not even a maybe. Sometimes on Facebook you get randoms that they're not your ideal person. Like everyone there. So I think that's a good option. But all right, awesome. You did that course. That was awesome. What was the next step, Jessa? Or did you launch that again, or was it the membership? What kind of happened from there?
Yeah, so I like when you've done a successful launch and you just like you come off that high and you're just like that was amazing, but what do I do next? Like the next month starts, you're back at zero and you're like, oh, what do I do? I've got to like go hustle again. So yeah, I found a coach who is my current coach. Her name's Evelyn Wise, and I actually joined her program, which is called the Coaching Membership Method. So I jumped into that one, and I never really thought about doing a membership before, but I just had sort of built this whole course and had it ready to go. I'm like, I'm going to give this a try. I'm just going to see how it goes. So I hit that 100%. And yeah, I started building memberships. And from there, they've become the main thing that I do, which is really, it's mind blowing to me still.
Well, let's do some of the math on that. So your launch was 20 sale or 30 sales at 300. So it's about a $9,000 launch. That's what the launch was, right? And that's great, right? But I think, as you said, the limitation with that, what are you going to do? The exact same thing the next month, and the next thing, we're going to fatigue pretty quick. The memberships, I think it's mainly $7 price point, your membership.
Yeah, so I've got a big mix of sort of the $7, which is sort of takes up, it's the majority, definitely. And then I've got a higher tier membership, which is $49.
Awesome. So it's, what is it, give or take about 10,000 a month in recurring on membership?
To 42,000 in recurring
Okay,
revenue. Yeah.
my maths is wrong. So, oh yeah, because we're going 1,000. I was doing them at 100. Okay, so that's 42,000, right? So it's like 4 times as much as that launch anyway. And it's every single month. Yeah, it might be a bit higher, a bit lower, but you're not starting again. It's like consistent coming in there. So, all right. So let's share that story then. So what was the step from there? You're like, all right, now I want to go to membership. What's the first thing you did?
Well, the first thing I did, Evelyn calls them mini and main memberships. So there's like you've got your sort of your front end offer, which is designed in a way that it's like it's such a snap that people see it on the ads and they're like, wow, that's great value. It's $7. What have I got to lose? So they invest in that initial offer, and then you also have your sort of bigger membership, which sort of sits in the back end, usually closed, and people like a portion of the people who jump on board with the $7 membership will upgrade to the bigger one.
Gotcha. Okay, so let me just get my head around this. And I've seen Evelyn's as well. I see both of your ads, that they come up there. So the strategy is like you'll sell something for, let's call it $10 to keep it simple. You'll run Facebook ads, and that kind of breaks even. Does that give or take break even? Whoever buys like, I don't know how much you spend a day, but say you spend $10 a day, you'll get one sale. You spend $20 a day, you get two sales. So you're kind of like, that's breaking even. That's what you're doing with that Facebook ad.
Yeah, so it took me ages of fiddling with the funnel. So I had to
Mm.
tweak it a lot to get to that point. In the beginning, I was kind of okay with losing a little bit of money because a portion of the people who sort of came in, they'd be there next month, and then a portion would stay for the next month.
Yeah.
But now I've got it to a point where I've got some offer bumps as well. So I've got an offer bump, and I've also got a one-time offer in the funnel. And now
Gotcha.
it's completely self-liquidating, which is really
Mm.
exciting. So you're not actually paying to advertise and reach a new audience. You're able to bring people in at like the same cost as what you're spending, that you're making that back as well. And then the next month, that's pure profit. So it's a great business model.
That's sick. So I'll just break that down for the listeners. So, and just to make sure I've got it as well, it's essentially like you run a Facebook ad and you'll be like, hey, I've got this thing. It's $10. Click here to buy it. People are going to go there. Some people buy it, some people don't. The people that buy it for $10, there'll be an order bump down the bottom. Hey, also get this thing for $30 or whatever it may be. So now, okay, some people get that. Now it's not a $10 thing, it's a $40 thing. They press send, then an upsell comes in. Hey, by the way, you want this for $50 or whatever it is, right? And then a percentage of people are going to buy that. So what that might mean is, instead of putting just $10 on the Facebook ad and getting one sale and $10 it can break even, maybe everyone can put $100 a day on Facebook ads. She still only makes one sale or maybe two sales, but one of those people buys the others. That pays for itself. And then Jessa can pretty much spend as much money as she wants on Facebook ads. It's not like, is 100 too much? Is 1,000 too much? I'll put whatever I want on there. There's obviously a cap because, sooner or later you reach everyone, but give or take, she can just put as much as she wants on Facebook ads. That's going to break even. And then the people that sign up the membership, it's just money for free month after month after month. That's the model, right?
Yeah, that's the model. So yeah, it works really, really well.
Okay. Can I ask how much you're spending a day on Facebook ads?
I know what it is a month. So it's around 15,000 a month.
15,000 a month. Okay. So let me do the math on that. It's about 500 a day.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Gotcha. Have you tried going more out of curiosity?
Look, I like it's gradually going up and up and up. Like
Yeah.
Evelyn teaches ads quite a detailed way. So she's all about, I guess, adding more offers and scaling. She calls it horizontally, scaling out rather than kind of, I guess,
Gotcha.
burning through the leads at a really high cost really, really quickly. So she's very much about sort of doing Facebook ads in a really sustainable way and doing it so you get the best cost long term, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. Love it. Okay. And the sales process is just off the sales page, right? You're not running challenges. It's not phone calls. It's not webinars. It's just the ads running. People go and buy. And you pretty much, I know you've obviously done a lot of work to set up the funnel on the Facebook ad and that, but once it's kind of there, you're not really doing any work, sales and marketing, right?
No, and that's what I love. It kind of flips it from that kind of putting all your energy into the front end to being able to put that back into your members. So you can really, like, you can be looking at your churn rate, you can be looking at what people are asking for. It gives you ideas for new products that you can offer as well, because you have that huge base of ideal clients who are always talking and they're telling you basically what they want to buy. So that's another thing I love about memberships.
Yeah, like I think that model you got there is kind of great, right? And it's like, it's an interesting one because I think a lot of people when they're starting off, they're kind of scared to put money on ads, right? And I think there's reason to be scared as well, right? Like you kind of knew you were onto something because you did your launch with the course. You had 500 people that are somewhat interested in this. You had 30, like you kind of validated everything beforehand. So I was like, right, I know there's potential here. I just need to get it in front of the right people. And then there's probably a whole nother thing setting up the ad and finding the right ad and that. But it's kind of like I think to be successful online, you got to either pay with your money or your time, right? And it's kind of like you're paying with to simplify it, you're paying with your money, so you're spending zero amount of time, but you're making that front back on the front end. So it's kind of like you're not spending any money and any time. And the only way to really do that is with a self-liquidating Facebook ad. If you're doing it the organic way, yeah, you might never have to spend money, but you've always got to spend your time. In Jessa's situation, she's not spending any of either. Still, obviously, diversifying. I know you're working on your YouTube channel because Facebook ads are Facebook ads. They stop working tomorrow. Your account gets banned. So, there's things in play, but I think it's a very good model there. So awesome. All right. Well, that paints a pretty good picture there. And I think we'll give probably a shout out for two things here. I think if you listen to this and you like the Etsy side of things and you're like, man, I love what Jessa did at Etsy. I want that. I want to make $10,000 a month passive income on Etsy. Best thing to do is join Jessa's membership site there. We'll put the links down below. And in terms of this strategy with the membership site, the best person would be to follow is it Eva or Evelyn?
Wise, yeah.
What is it, sorry?
Evelyn Wise.
Evelyn. Yeah.
Mhm.
Awesome. All right, cool. So that paints the sales picture pretty well. Let's speak about, I guess, the back end of the membership, Jessa. So someone signs up, they pay their $7 or whatever. Let us know, what do they get, and maybe from their end and your end. So from your end, what kind of actually, we'll go back a step. From your end, what kind of software are you using, both for the membership site, but then also for the funnels and the emails and whatnot?
Beautiful. Well, I have a bit of a Frankenstein situation going on with
Mm,
all of my stuff. And I think earlier in the year, you sent out an email about New Zenler and
mm,
how it's really hard because you really get trapped in your tech if
yeah,
you don't set
you
it up
do.
right.
No,
So
you do. Yeah.
I've got Kartra for it sort of hosts the memberships in the back end.
Yeah.
But because the load speed of the page wasn't fast enough to run ads to, I had to kind of like fuse ClickFunnels to the front of that.
Gotcha. So it's all right. So it's like you'll run your Facebook ad, your sales page is on ClickFunnels,
Yeah.
but then someone will click the link to buy. That'll take them to the Kartra checkout page.
The checkout's all done in ClickFunnels, and then I've got Zapier connecting the two.
Oh, gotcha. So someone will go on ClickFunnels, they buy via ClickFunnels, they then get zapped into the membership on Kartra.
Yeah, that's
Awesome.
exactly right. Yeah.
And then you do your emails and that on Kartra as well.
I do my emails on Kartra. Yeah. And I
Oh,
also have a Facebook group like community, which they get access to.
gotcha. And that's just a paid one, right? Only the paid people get that.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, it's private for the specific membership.
Gotcha. Awesome. Okay. And then in regards to actual delivery, someone signs up for your membership, what do they get?
Well, so I think like the thing that Evelyn taught me is that when you're doing a front end offer, it has to be a really great deal. So you have to put a lot of energy into
Mm,
it. And it has to be all about the value that you're delivering. So she calls it like a value surplus. And it's like you just throw everything into that front offer and make it just amazing. The sales page needs to be amazing. You need to be offering things which are, I guess, she calls them tangible deliverables. So that's like things like templates and tools and
mm,
Excel sheets and workbooks. So I've got 12 of those in my membership. Then I have 9 modules of content. I also release a new training once a month. So we've just done the lead magnets training, which was like a mini course within that. And then additional to like the sort of the core content and the trainings, I also go in and I do a live Q&A once a month and networking sessions.
love that. Because it just sounds even that's pretty chilled, Like I know you've done a lot of work to put the templates together, and to create the courses, but with both those, kind of like you do it once and then that's pretty much it. And then it's like, the live training and the Q&A once a month. It's a pretty chill kind of thing. So, and actually, I'll just think here because I saw Evelyn's sales page not too long ago. Am I right in saying this might just be her strategy? It might not be what you do, but what I've seen her do is essentially, hey, you can buy all this stuff for $9 or whatever. Or if you join the membership for $7 a month, you get all of that stuff that you would have got for $9 anyway, and you get some extra stuff. Do you do that as well, or?
I don't do it yet. Evelyn's just sort of coined that concept. She calls it an option funnel. So it's really clever.
Yeah, because I saw it. I was on hers, and I was like, "Oh yeah, this looks pretty good." What is it? And I was like, then I was like, the math wasn't working in my head. I was like, hold on, because I thought it would be more. It was like, hey, you can buy it for $9 or get it for free if you join my program or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, but how much is your program? Probably $5,000. Then I'm like, oh, the program's $7 a month. I was like, oh, this is why even get the 9? I might just get the 7, and then it's better for both parties. You're recurring, and yeah. So okay, interesting. So in regards to workload, Jessa, how much time would you say you spend on your membership site business total? Everything, sales, marketing, delivery. How many hours a week would you say you worked? And even let's say minimum here, if you had to, what's the minimum amount that you could spend to keep it running?
Yeah, so I'm currently building my team. Do you want me to include their time as well, or?
Maybe do with yeah. So maybe do if it was no team, how much hours is spent on your half, and then with the team, how does that look?
Yeah, beautiful. So I'd say I'm very like high touch in my memberships, especially my $50 a week one.
Yeah.
So I do 2 Zoom calls in that one, which is high touch as well. We also obviously answer questions 24/7. We get about, I think, 50 questions a day across all the memberships. So we
Yeah.
always
Wow.
answer those.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it's probably about 20 hours a week if I'm factoring like new products, all the questions, all the coaching, like looking at my ads and picking things. Yeah, I would say if I was to do it all.
Awesome. Okay. Pretty good ratio there. Awesome. All right. Well, hey, there's a few questions I always like to finish up with, Jessa. One of them is in regards to mentors. So you've obviously mentioned Evelyn a couple times. You can mention her again, or you can, if you've got someone else, you can mention them too. But ask all my guests who their biggest mentors have been in 3 different ways. So a paid mentor, so someone that you've paid money to, you've done their program, and you've learned a lot from them. An unpaid mentor, so someone that you haven't paid money to, but you follow them on Instagram, you follow them on YouTube, you listen to their podcast, whatever it may be, and a book that you recommend everyone should read if they want to be successful in the online course world. So paid, unpaid, and book.
Well, yeah, my biggest mentor is obviously Evelyn Weiss. She's like taught me everything that I know about memberships. So she's incredible. Unpaid, I would probably say I was a designer when I was first starting out. Her name's Laura Lee Lewis. I never bought anything from her, but she was a mum who kind of built up digital products herself, and she took herself completely from zero to quite like very, very wealthy. So she was someone who kind of broke my mindset around, I guess, offering like $7 products. It's like if she can sell a really high volume of them, they hold a lot of value, don't they?
Mm.
So she's my unpaid one. And then my book is Do Less. So have you heard of that one?
I haven't, but I'm not surprised you like that book. Not saying that you don't do a lot, but all your stuff is so passive. So give it who's Do Less by?
Oh, I'll look it up. It's on my Instagram. I'll have a look. I think it's Kate Northrup.
Let me see. I might Amazon it right now. What was it
Yeah,
called? Do Less?
Do Less by Kate Northrup. So
Okay.
it's a great book.
Just added it to my wish list. Awesome. All right, cool. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people, Jessa, that are listening to this, and they're like, okay, this woman is awesome. I want to follow her. I want to do her memberships. Best place to follow you. Where do we go?
I think I would love you to visit my YouTube because I put a lot of sort of free content up there as well. So you can see if I'm a good fit for you, if you like my crazy, like fast speaking vibe and that kind of thing. So you can follow me at that Jessa B on YouTube.
Awesome. And I'll put that link down in the show notes as well. Jessa, that's pretty much everything I wanted to cover today. Is there anything I should have asked you but forgot to, or anything you want to finish us off with?
There's one thing I wanted to talk about. So I was very nervous to spend money on ads when I did. So I actually only started with $5. So it was $5 a day and I scaled it up from there. So you don't need like a huge budget to go in and get started. I'd really like if you're thinking about ads, I would really like consider jumping in at just $5 a day and see what you can do.
Let me ask a follow-up question on that. Does Evelyn teach Facebook ads in her membership?
Yeah, she does. So she teaches it in her membership funnels and ads, and she has very, very detailed training on self-liquidating offers, all the like she gives all the different funnel templates, all of that kind of thing, and lots of training on ads. So she's taught me everything that I know.
That's for the $9. Is $9 a week or $9 a month her membership?
But she has 3 levels. So she's got $7 for Coach Growth Hub, which teaches you basically how to be a coach, how to develop your irresistible offers, how to build your audience. The next step up from that is funnels and ads, which is $49 a month. And that teaches funnels, ads. It has a lot of coaching and specialists in there. She has a mindset coach. She has like copy reviews. You can go in and submit your copy and get that reviewed by a professional. So that's a very high touch membership as well. And then she obviously has her program, which I think it's $770 to sign up and pay it outright. And you get a year's worth of coaching in that as well. Or it's $97 a month.
Gotcha.
And
Listening
that's the
to
teacher
this,
memberships.
well,
Yeah.
tell me this, like my thing with that, like if you're going to learn Facebook ads, hey, you can do it yourself, but for $50, even if you're staying there in 1 month, go and do Evelyn's membership for $50, learn the Facebook ads in there. And obviously, yeah, test your own money. You got to do that as well. But like, yeah, for that price there, I think it's a no-brainer for someone to jump on and check it out.
I think the last time we talked at the start of the year, this is before I met Evelyn, I think I was testing Facebook ads and I spent a lot of money on that because I didn't know what I was doing. So I wasted a lot of money. If I
Yeah,
known Evelyn and done her training, I wouldn't have lost that
for
money.
$50, yeah, for sure. Awesome. All right, Jess. Well, hey, thanks very much for your time, and we'll be in touch.
Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it so much.